This is the Book Deal Podcast,
where you will discover the inspiring stories of the authors behind your favourite books.
No matter what stage of writing you are at, we've got you covered. I'm Tina Strong.
And I'm Madeleine Cleary, and join us as we pull back the curtain of published authors.
One deal at a time.
The Book Deal Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters which it's recorded on, and pays respect to their elders past, present and emerging.
Good evening, Madeleine.
Hi, Tina.
How are you going over there?
Oh, having a great night. It's Saturday night. We're partying on the podcast tonight.
Are we partying? Or are you?
Well,
we don't often record on a Saturday night, though, do we, Madeleine?
Well, no.
Sometimes on a Saturday night, some people have plans.
That's true.
Some people are doing fun things, like yourself. Some people are sitting at home in their pajamas and drinking kombucha, like me.
But I love that you've prepared. So just for context, it's 7 o'clock on Saturday night as well. And Tina has prepped for bed. She's in her pajamas. She's just taken a big swig of her kombucha. Are you
For gut health?
Are you prepping for bed straight after this podcast?
No. God, it's been set up. I almost don't want to admit what my plans were for afterwards. Oh my gosh.
Please tell me while I drink my wine.
Well, last night I finished my paint by numbers.
Oh, you're getting into that fad. That's a thing at the moment, isn't it?
I've been doing it for a little while. I actually bought some for me and my son to do together, which was really cute. And he did.
Oh, so you started the trend.
Oh, it's all me.
Okay, you're ahead of it.
Totally me. Everyone heard that I was doing it and got on board.
Is it good?
You know what? I'm total hyper focuser though, so I get really stuck into it. But you know when I found it really helpful, I'm sure it's not just paint by numbers. I'm sure there's lots of other things. Like after this, because I've just finished, I was going to go onto one of my cross stitches.
Oh my God, Tina! Saturday night at Tina's place. It's getting wild.
But they are. You get some really cool and funky ones. I'm going to post it on my Instagram so everyone can see. They're cool. They're not daggy anymore.
Really?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But you know what, it's good, and I think you need to do this, Madeleine. What you need to do is, I think it's very important, and especially in this period of time, Madeleine. So all debut authors that are listening who are going into this, you may be doing art and craft and things anyway, but it is so good as a switch off of your brain, and I actually find it super relaxing. And I actually put my headphones in and listen to and watch something at the same time. So I'm watching a show,
you're doing so many things at the same time. So you're doing paint by numbers or cross stitching plus watching TV.
Yeah, at the same time. But I'm watching something that's but it's not thinking about socials. It's not thinking about the next words that I'm going to write. It's not thinking about,
that's true,
doing all that. So it's still a switch off, just watching brain numbing television. And you don't have to do that, or some music or a podcast or an audio book.
No, you're right. I think that's really
doing
nice.
The painting.
It puts your focus on something that's not in your brain, buzzing around in your brain. Okay, yes. So I'm going to show you something that's literally in my office right now. I agree. I have never done paint by numbers, but what I have done, and this I think is on theme with Saturday night, is the paint Pinot and Picasso.
Yes.
So with my girlfriends, actually my friend who is over at the moment, we went and did this together in this really trendy place. We're literally the oldest people at this place.
No. Oh,
and
really?
And we're
getting into it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And we had a dinner booking earlier, and we probably left it, we were pushing time. And so we rocked up late to this Pinot and Picasso, and all these really trendy young people in inner city Melbourne had already set up, they were full on into it. And then we'd had a few wines. And so we walked in stumbling in, laughing, causing
not
a bit
taking
of
it very seriously. Clearly.
Not taking it seriously. But oh my gosh, I was in that period. I think it was just before Butterfly Women came out. So I was, your brain gets full of buzzing kind of things, and it's hard to switch off and focus. But I think there's something to do with painting. So I can show you the painting that I did.
Yes, please.
It's right in my office. Okay. And we can pop this up.
Oh, oh my God. So did you, okay, everyone, I'm going to explain. I'm looking at the cutest butterfly that Madeline has painted,
This way.
and it's like blue and purple and pink, and it says, like a butterfly, her wings unfolded. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did everyone draw the butterfly, or did you
No,
get to
because
choose?
they had like some standard ones that they wanted everyone to draw and
Yeah.
paint.
Mm,
But my friends and I, we were like, no, we want to do what we want to do. And my friends had prepped, they're like A-type women.
yeah.
So they had actually gone onto Pinterest and found what they wanted to paint.
Oh,
And I had not done my research. I didn't know this was a thing. So I had no idea what to do. So my friends went and found like a butterfly thing and
oh,
the
cute.
words. So they organized me. Isn't it nice when you've got friends that just organize you? And that's,
It is
yeah.
definitely handy at times, yes.
Yeah. So that friend is actually here right now.
Oh,
And we didn't expect that she would stay. So we've had a few wines. So I thought, well, why not jump onto the podcast now
yeah, I
and
love it.
have a good
Wish,
time
yeah, next time I'll have to join you. Sound very boring.
with Natasha as well.
Yes, please. Oh, that'd be so cool.
So painting. Okay, I'm gonna have to get into this paint by
Painting, or I
numbers.
think anything crafty,
I'm
something
not
that's
very
not
crafty
right.
though.
Nor am I. Creative in a different
I'm
way
not
that's not
creative.
writing, but nor am I. And that's why, see, I wish I could just paint the thing. Like my mum is an actual
That's-
artist, and she keeps, like, she'll walk past me and go, oh, you just maybe try this brush, or maybe try this color, or maybe you should. And I'm like, Mum, no, I'm just painting in the
Hang
lines.
on, Tina. Our
Mm.
mums are both artists.
Wow. And are
What?
you arty?
No,
Oh,
I'm
no,
I'm a terrible
but we
artist.
are. We're just still
Um,
creative, but with words.
but with words, I've
Yeah.
never been creative with other
Mm-mm.
things.
Me
Have
either.
you? Yeah, I'm
No,
terrible.
no.
My mum, she's a beautiful artist. I've got lots of her like paintings around our house,
Yeah.
and I've just never had that skill. And it's funny,
No.
isn't it, that you gravitate towards something. She's always been very crafty, and I think actually she would be a good writer as well. So, mum listens to all our podcasts, so I'm so sure she's
My
listening right now.
mum.
Hey, Julie.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Well, it's certainly like the creative gene, right? And we
Mm,
just use
mm.
words instead of
That's right.
art. But I would love to be able to do it. Um, anyway, but I can't. So paint by numbers it
Paint by
is. It looks
numbers.
really good at the end. You just got to get a good one.
And
Like
the other
something
thing I've found
daggy.
as well is like I think listening to music, like
Mm,
taking some time out, going to a performance or a recital,
mm.
because then you're forced to just spend 2 hours just listening. And I think that's a nice way to like, decompress as well. And yeah, decompression is something that I need to be thinking about, I think now, 5.5 weeks, almost 6 weeks actually, since the Butterfly Women's been published. So it's now time to rejuvenate and refresh.
I think you should just give it a go. Go on. I'll send you a link to some cool
Okay,
paint by
sounds
numbers that
good.
I just saw. But we
Sounds good.
didn't we didn't come on to talk paint by numbers. We had a few things we wanted to chat about, but first, let's do a little bit of an update, Madeline, because it has been an exciting time. What's been happening for you in the last week or so, or a couple of weeks since we chatted last?
It's been an interesting time actually because it's been the first, last week was the first week I had where I didn't have an event or a podcast since the Butterfly Women launched. So that it felt strange actually to just go back to like normal life. And so I think trying to work out how to adjust back to normality is something I had to sort of think about and learn. And probably spent a day going, oh my gosh, this is it, like it's done now. I need to start thinking about the next thing. And that sort of took me into a bit of a head spin. But I think I've come out of it like pretty excited about what's next as well. And I've still got like lots of interesting and fun things to look forward to. Like I'm going to the Williamstown, to the Willie Lit Festival in
Mm-hmm.
Williamstown in a couple of weeks. And I'm doing this really cool event with Anne Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Anne? Yeah, at Elephant Bookshop. So we're talking. So her book, Me That You See, is all about the digital age of sort of like OnlyFans, and it's this really cool book. It's
That's
amazing.
that
And
sounds
so we're
very
talking
cool.
about flash brothels in 19th century and the digital age. So at
Can
Elephant
you tell us
Bookshop.
what a flash brothel is?
Oh yeah, so that's
I
like
have an image in my mind, but
well, what do you think? What's your image?
to me, a flash brothel sounds like almost like a pop-up venue.
I mean, actually in the 19th century, it was just describe a very high class brothel.
Oh, like a
Yes,
flashy brothel. I
flashy
was
brothel.
I was like, it's like a flash, like a pop-up store. I don't know.
No, so like a yeah, it's a very high class brothel, like Madame Brussels-esque in Melbourne. So that was the way they described them. So lots of things still to look forward to, but I did some really beautiful events in the last couple of weeks in regional Victoria. So one in Mansfield at Ink Bookshop, and I don't know, we didn't know what we were expecting, I think, and it's about a 2 hour drive to Mansfield, and we were driving in the dark in the rain, and my husband, he's like, what if only 5 people like show up? Because, it could be really awkward.
Mm,
And we got there and like there was like 40 people and it was like a sellout. It was this beautiful, warm event. Charlotte, who owns the bookshop, is amazing. So we had a great time. And then we went the next night to Meenian, which is in Gippsland. Again, another like 2 hour drive. I was in conversation with Mark Mapotza Russell, who's a friend of the
mhm,
podcast. And again, so warm, incredible community down there. And I had this incredible, amazing experience where the last person who was in the signing line, and this was pretty much my like one of my last events. So it felt like a bit of a final moment, like I was going back to work the next day, and it was like the last moment. And she just said to me, she's like, "Oh, your book changed my whole perspective on my life."
oh,
Yeah. And
wow.
Mark was sitting next to me, and Mark was just like, I could hear his grin and feel his grin next to
Mm,
me.
mm,
And she just said, like, that she comes from this like background where she's from a poorer background. She became a partner in a law firm. And when she was reading the book, she realized she was like, this would have been my life 150, 160 years ago.
mm,
And it made her feel really grateful for all the opportunities that she's
mhm,
had in her life. And that's something like when you write, Tina, you don't
mhm,
expect to have that response. You just write a story that you think people hopefully, you hope that people like. But when you get a
mhm.
moment like that, it makes everything worthwhile. The driving in the dark, in the
Yeah,
rain, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
absolutely. That's incredible. And I feel like I've really been these last few weeks, I've really been appreciating those opportunities and those moments. And even in a way, like, we write because we love it.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to being a published author, then that's when all the things like sales and people buying books and is it making money and all that sort of thing. And, you don't get paid a lot for your books in this
Mm.
industry, but
Hmm.
I was even just thinking the other day, if all I get out of it is these incredible opportunities and adventures that I wouldn't have had, I think that's worth it to me.
Yes.
Is to,
And even not even like the opportunities to do these things, but the moments, those
Mhm.
just small moments in your life, which only last 30 seconds, but you know that will stay with you forever.
Because you can't put a price on that feeling, can you? And that
No.
moment that you had. Yeah, it's
Have you had that? Yeah,
incredible.
Tina?
But I can't say that anyone's come to me and said that Wilder Zoo has changed their life.
It's
But
different, isn't it?
yet
Children.
it's kids. But and they're really cute and very generous with their.
Have you had a moment though that's felt very much like I just want to enjoy this right now. There's that feeling that I think will carry me through this.
Mm. Yeah, I think there's probably been a few, and I think so I have book two, Nika and the Storm, coming out like
Mm.
next month,
Oh my gosh, I'm
and
so
I'm
excited.
excited, and
You
I'm
haven't asked me for a blurb quote, by the way. I'm very pissed off about
I
that.
don't know. I'm not sure if your genre kind of gels well with mine. I mean,
You
it
know,
does
I've
well. It just like
you
whether
should. I would
publishers will want
definitely
that
give
in the
one.
back. Yeah, but so I'm actually planning for promo of book two of Nika and the Storm, and organizing all my events, and we're actually going to Melbourne Zoo to have a book launch down there, which I know you're gonna be at.
What date is it?
It's the 31st of August.
Okay, let me just
So
pop that in my calendar.
yeah,
I don't know
you
if
block
you've
that
even
day
told me the
out.
date.
No, well, I've only just locked it in, and so I'll
Okay, you
do
know
another.
what? You're very lucky. I literally come back from Queensland the day before,
Oh,
so
that's so funny. Well,
I'm so glad.
good. I'll be actually be
Okay.
in conversation with our friend Catherine Collette, so she's going to be there,
Another
which
friend of
is
the podcast.
another friend of the podcast.
Oh my gosh,
Plus,
amazing.
it's just
Okay.
super fun. It's just going to be super fun. There's going to be lots of animal themed games and activities, and
Is there a link out now to a
not yet.
booking?
No, I'll be doing it next week. So by the time
Okay.
everyone hears this, it should probably be up, and you can just find it on my website or on Insta. But even that, going down to Melbourne and going with the family and spending some time down there, we're gonna stay in a hotel, we're gonna stay in the city, we're gonna do all these sorts of fun things. I'm like, you know what? If even just having these fun little adventures is all that I get from, as in like we'll all talk about money and how much money we make, but those adventures and is a pretty good payoff, I think. For
It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's
yeah,
it's pretty cool what we get to do. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and
But
I also
Tina,
get to
I
talk
feel
at the
like
school for book week, which is pretty incredible. And the kids are just like, that's my mom coming and talking at
oh,
book week. Like that's a moment as well. So I'm sure
mm,
we'll um yeah, will be a lasting memory for them as well. So all of that is just, yeah, a really incredible experience.
that's amazing. But I feel though as well, this is not going to be the end for you in all your future author career moments. I
Nor
feel like
you,
you're going to have
Madeline.
many, many
And
incredible moments.
it's the long game, right? That's what
That's
we're here
right.
for. That's what we tell ourselves.
That's right. I was actually talking with someone yesterday about what it's like being a debut author. And you do put a lot of time and investment into social media and your own personal expense, like flying down to Melbourne as an
Mm.
example for your book launch. And you put in a lot of this time and investment. I think you have to see this as part of your business, isn't it? If you were a small business owner and starting up your business, you wouldn't expect to make any returns in your first few years because
That's
you're,
exactly right. Yeah,
yeah,
you don't.
setting
And
up.
that's business. And it is true, if that is your business and it's your job, you do a lot of stuff for free. You put
Yes.
a lot out there for free as well to, build trust and faith and get people to know you and your brand, and then
Yes.
invest in you in the long term and become, a long-term reader. And yeah, so it certainly, yeah, it's I think that's a really good way to look at it, and especially for debut authors who are, yes, waiting for the money to come in. If you look at it like it is a business and you invest everything you've got into it and all your time, and eventually it will, if you run your business well, it'll come to you, I'm sure.
Exactly. And I think, well, we've spoken to so many authors about how they might not be a success. And I guess success is defined by people differently, but a bestseller
Mm,
on their debut. And that doesn't mean that's the end of your career if you don't sell well.
mhm.
You could become a breakout on your third, your fourth, your fifth book.
Oh, you hear it all the time, don't you?
Yes,
Someone's a number one with this smash hit, and then you find out they've got this back catalogue that no one
exactly.
no one knew about until now. But
Shankari Chandran as well, like Natasha interviewed, and that was an amazing interview, and that
mm,
shows, Miles Franklin award-winning author that had been a bestseller even before winning that award, and that was her third book, I think, at that time. So, and now people are picking up her backlists. So, yeah, it does show that. I think too, as an emerging writer, before even being published, taking that time to invest in doing courses, in turning up to even just book launches and
mm,
events, being part of the community, having a social media presence, building your
yeah.
network, like that's all time investment away from writing, right?
Mm,
But I don't think that also is time spent building your reputation in your business, and it
mhm.
shouldn't be something that you disregard as wasted time.
No, and it's all learning too. I find that
Mhm.
really important. I think it would be terribly hard to have a book launch or do the social media authory stuff, if you had never been to one and you had never followed any other authors or communicated with any other authors, or just, learnt from them just through networking and communications and making those contacts, what the author life is like. Do you
Exactly.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Hello, this is Olivia O'Flynn, and my debut romantasy Ever Blessed is out now with Harper Voyager, which is an imprint of the HarperCollins publishers. It is where love, mythology, and magic collide, and it includes some of the genre's most beloved tropes, such as slow burn enemies to lovers. We have warriors, witches, fated love, failing magic, and heaps of queer representation as well. We follow the journey of Elva, who is a warrior princess forced into an arranged marriage, and Inez, who is a hunted witch, across the story as they try to navigate their new normals and save the land that is being ravaged by a blight. So if this sounds up your alley, please check out Everblessed. I'm so proud of the book and what it has become. And if you like romantasy, if you like even just fantasy with heaps of world building and maybe a little bit of spice, then I think this book is up your alley. Everblessed is out now.
Now, Tina, your updates. What have you've probably been prepping for Nika in the Storm, I'm guessing.
I have, and yes, I talk about sort of taking away from writing time,
Mm.
but it's fun. Oh, it's so fun because I'm making I've got some library visits coming up for Gold Coast
Mhm.
Library in the school holidays. I'll also be doing a workshop for kids at Where the Wild Things Are in their school holidays as well. And Quick Brown Fox, I'm doing a really cool workshop there as well. So I've got a few things on, but so I'm just kind of prepping for the workshops, which has been so fun because I just have this like endless like list of ideas because when it comes to kids and animals and doing like
Yeah.
fun little vet exams and stuff, I'm doing all that, including all of that, and games and just yeah. Anyway, if anyone can get along to any of them, I will list them all on my Instagram next week. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's so cool. That
It's
sounds so much
it's so
fun.
fun, yeah.
And
But it does take
coincides
up
with the school
time.
holidays, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which is handy. But they do take up a lot of time. But I feel
Mhm.
like, once I've given myself a deadline of maybe till Monday for another
Mhm.
couple of days, and then I'm going to get back into yeah, the last manuscript that I'm writing. I'm going to give it just a big polish, and then
Is
try
this
and
the third book in the Nika?
no, that one is basically done. I'm just
Oh,
waiting on edits to come back and give it another read through. And
what's the
no,
title of
it's
that one?
something completely different. That one's called Nika and the Great Search. And yeah, it's
Oh,
there's in the back of Nika and the Storm. It's got the blurb for it. So that'll be exciting too. So many more Nika adventures to come.
love
But
it.
that's sort of been my update. Yeah, just kind of working on that and
Mhm.
a little bit of writing. But we
Oh,
we
wait,
d-
you need to talk about what the news that both you and Natasha received last week as well, and then my massive FOMO.
so yes, we do have some really super fun, exciting news, and it's actually funny as well. But
It is very funny.
oh,
And I'm
so
so incredibly jealous and envious and got all the FOMO vibes. Oh my God.
I can't see. You should have entered, and you could have been coming too.
Oh.
Well, so I got the very exciting news last week that I was longlisted, or no, shortlisted actually, for the Writers on the Reef residency, which is run by James Cook University, and it's based on Magnetic Island. And so you have to enter, and you have to say, what you're working on. It has to fill particular criteria. So it's the Roderick Centre, James Cook University Writers on the Reef residency, and
So basically, you're on an island
you're
in
basically on an
Queensland.
island for like 7 nights, just working. It's writing time. You're just working on your manuscript. So that was super exciting, and I couldn't believe it when I saw that Natasha Rye, one of our co-hosts here on the book deal, had actually shortlisted as well. So we're messaging back and forth like, "Oh my God, this is hilarious!" And then we found out that we actually both got the residency as well. So we're both going to be on Magnetic Island for a week in August, doing nothing but writing. And Madeline is very upset that she's not going to be there with us.
I mean, okay, so I am thrilled for the both of you. But when I heard that you both are going to be together on
What's
this
the
beautiful island
chances?
for a whole
Oh,
week, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get replaced. Like, that's
what's the
it.
chances? We may not come back. It's
But
just a
also
tropical island in Queensland. It's okay.
just a tropical island in Queensland
It's
and a resort, right? Is it
no,
a
it's
beautiful
a
home?
private house.
Is there a pool?
Yes.
Oh,
Is
and
it
a beach?
beachfront? Yes.
Oh,
It's
don't tell
literally
me.
beachfront. Yeah.
And food, is it all included?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we just have to turn up and write. And I
oh,
have to say,
oh,
so it's hilarious. So yeah, it's hilarious and it's going to be amazing. And honestly, just I am going to get some writing done, my friend. I cannot
I
wait.
bet. I bet.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it when we both got on. We are going to record a podcast episode while we're there. It's
It's
going to
going to be
be
the best
Island
episode
Edition.
ever. Oh, can I join from Zoom? No, 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 no.
We'll be on the
You
beach.
guys, you enjoy your bloody magnetic island experience, and I'm just going to be in freezing Melbourne in August, just hating life.
Okay, we'll try
Wishing
not to
I was
send you too
there.
many photos.
Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't. No, 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 no. Please do send me all the photos. I want to be included.
But you know what? I have to say, it was on my vision board. It was on
Okay,
my
can
vision
we
board.
talk about vision boards? Do
We
you
can.
have one in your office?
You know what? I haven't even finished it yet.
Oh,
But thus is the power of the vision board. Okay. And I think I mentioned it recently. We've been talking jokingly about manifesting and stuff, right?
yes.
But I did mention I have recorded an interview with Jane Tara, who is all over the manifesting, all over the vision boarding.
I'm so excited for this one, that episode.
Me too. I can't wait. Geez, we've been so busy with the podcast and so many incredible guests. So it's coming. I think it might even be the following week after this ep, which yes, the following week, the following ep after this one. And after I chatted with her and after I read a bit more about it from some of the recommendations that she had, I was like, yeah, I love this vision boarding thing. If anything, it's a plan and it's just like know where you want to go. And I most certainly had a picture on there of a tropical island in Queensland.
No.
Because I just have always wanted to just take myself off to an island and write for a week. So, and look,
Then it
now it's
happened.
happened.
Oh my
3
God.
things have happened on my vision board so far. And like I said, I haven't even finished it. It's still, I'm doing it in Canva. And I've been taking some time coming back and doing it. And 3 things have happened so far.
Oh my God. Put like 6-figure multi-book deal on
Look,
there.
that one, no, look, that one hasn't yet.
Netflix logo in there. God, Nika would be a perfect mini-series. My God, do it.
Give it time, Madeline. Those ones need a little bit of time. But, so far it's some pretty good odds, I have to say. I plan on getting everything on my vision board by the end of the year.
Are you going to print it and put it somewhere?
I am. Yeah, I will. Yes, I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it beside my bed so I look at it every night before I go to sleep and I look at it in the morning.
My memory is triggering. Do you have something on the back of your toilet door?
No.
Oh, who was I talking to? They've got like a vision board on the back of their toilet door.
I've heard that that's a good spot to put it because you do visit it several times a day.
Plenty of times you spend a bit of time there. I mean, the Book Deal podcast, we haven't done an episode unless we talk about poo. So
I'm sorry. I think most of that's my fault. It's my zookeeper background. Always conversation turns into poo. I was going to mention it before when I was talking about my workshops, but I thought no. And then you brought it. Then you did. That's good. Good. No, I don't. But they do say put it somewhere where you can keep. But if you want to keep it private, so other people don't see it, that's fine too. But no, mine's still on Canva. I've still got a couple of spots to fill that I'm thinking about. So.
Will you share it with me?
When I finish it, I will. And you'll listen to Jane's episode, and you'll be totally making your own.
Okay, I don't know what to put on there.
That's okay.
But I'll think about it.
And I think, and one of the parts of the conversation was that I think you surprise yourself with what you do put on there, because I put some of the really obvious things for authors like making all this money and like being top of this chart and all that sort of thing. And I was like, actually, that's
give
not
you
really
that joy.
It's it's probably the more how do I get the time? What's more fulfilling? And it's having time to write, having time for family, and that doesn't actually need to be the number one. Like if I'm being signed up for books and I'm making more books and I'm writing more stories, it doesn't actually need to be like the top of the charts. It just needs to be enough.
Oh, Tina,
But
you're gonna make
if
me
it was a
cry.
six-figure deal, I also wouldn't say no to that.
Yeah, that's right. You're like, actually, HarperCollins, I'm happy right now, just making my books.
Yeah, and look, I know, and I think that I've had a pretty
Oh,
good start, and I've been incredibly, yes,
that
privileged
has to
and
be
yeah.
your top tip, right, for today. Like having just having and crafting time, I think, for
Mm,
doing what you love is really,
yeah.
really important, isn't
Mm,
it? And you do that by waking up at 4:30 and doing all sorts of crazy, crazy things.
yeah.
But I think
Mm,
also having a life outside of writing is important. So when you're talking about spending time with family,
mm,
and that's probably something I've neglected in the last 5 to 6 weeks is my friends and my family and my life outside of writing. And I think that's okay because it's been a busy period.
mhm.
But that's why, my friend's here now, and after this, we're gonna have some dinner together and
Yeah.
talk. And it's nice to be able to do things that take you out of that headspace for a bit. And I
Mhm.
think that's important as well, because that's
Yep.
what life's all about, isn't it? Not just
Yes.
buried in your laptop.
No, I know. And yes, I do have to remind myself that sometimes. It's just only a short period of time
Mm,
that you're busy for, and all your
yes,
friends will hang around and wait for you to come out the other side of it.
exactly,
I feel like this is just like a
exactly.
big long counseling session that we're
I
having.
know. I feel like it's
This
really
is
nice.
really lovely.
In very exciting news as well,
Mm,
I've gone part-time at work.
mm,
I'm no longer a full-time employee,
that's
in my
very
day job.
exciting.
And I think when you were talking about in your vision board having the goal of having that time to create and practice your craft and write the novels and the books that you want to write, that's a big tick, a
Mhm.
big goal for me. I mean, I'm still working 4 days a week, but that extra day makes a difference. I've
Mm,
already found, I mean, it's only been a few weeks, but
yep.
already it's just making a huge difference. And
Yep.
I'm very cognizant, though, that it's a privilege and that I can do this because I have a privilege to be
Mm,
able to do it. And I know
mhm,
that that's not always the case for everybody. So I'm super grateful for that. And I'm going to use that time wisely, I hope.
mhm. Yep.
Mm.
It is precious time.
You're just drinking kombucha. You're
Not
not
even
drinking wine like
drinking.
me.
Oh, look, well, Madeline, we did have a plan for
Well, we
tonight's
always have
discussion,
a
but we went off, but that's okay. And I love
That's
that.
okay.
But
Oh,
let's,
should we actually tell listeners, though, what our plan is for our catch-up chats? Because I don't think we've announced what our plan is. We're changing things up again.
hmm we,
Mm.
but we're kind of going back to the old,
The old
the old,
format.
the old format of we will be doing our fortnightly catch-ups again.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. So we'll
Oh,
be catching, because originally we were doing once a month and then we were
mhm,
doing author interviews,
mhm.
but we decided to come back and do fortnightly. Why did we decide that?
Because we miss these really lovely chats. Don't know if anyone else does, but we did, and it's a good excuse.
Right, that's right. And actually, we were getting some feedback going.
Yes,
You
yes.
catch up chats, and perhaps they don't serve much of a purpose, but that's okay. We get to catch up, and
I think
hope.
there was some golden nuggets in that discussion then that we just had. I think we do our best work when we are just chatting away.
That's right. That's right. What were we going to catch up on today? We had a plan that you'd.
Oh, let's save it for next time and see if we get to it. But I
Okay,
did,
sounds good.
I think two things that we did that would be cool to
Mm,
chat about is recommendations of
mm,
various things. And I
mm,
did want to make a little recommendation because it had come up recently with another author friend who is sort of transitioning from picture books and trying their hand at some sort of longer form writing of
mm-hmm.
children's books, and they're just asking for some advice and some tips on really kind of learning how to structure stories and flow and all that
Mm.
sort of thing. And yeah, they were talking about listening to the Story Grid podcast, and there's
Oh, I
also
haven't heard of that one.
yeah, it's good, and there's also a Story Grid book, and you can read both of them, and they are very good. I feel like though they're for like advanced plotters and planners.
Mm-hmm.
so what I suggested to her is this podcast that I listened to a lot when I was also just getting really serious about when I had my first full manuscript and I just wanted to make sure that I was hitting all the marks. And it's actually called Fiction Writing Made Easy by Savannah Gilbo. And it is a podcast that she does these really short, oh, actually she's got quite a lot of episodes now, but she does these quite short episodes where she basically goes through every important aspect of books, like of story structure. So things like what kind of genre it is, so she goes through that. What's sort of the internal story, the external story. Look it up and see if you like it. But she's also got a really good website that is like a companion to the podcast, and is probably a good place to start, because all the podcasts have like a written sort of blog for each one. So if you prefer to look it up, and they have like all these printable printable sheets, so you can plot to try and work out what your genre is, or work out where you've gone wrong, or sort of just do a basic overall. It's really, really handy. Don't laugh at me, Madeleine, about my plotting and planning.
I'm like glazing over because I'm like, I can't do this. This sounds like awful to me.
No, it's extremely handy for people who want to do that, and it's like kind of a nice, easy way in. And StoryGrid's like a few steps beyond that. So you would hate StoryGrid then.
I know. Well, for context, Tina was like, before we hit record, she's like, oh, any like podcasts that you listen to help you with your writing and all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, I don't know.
You just listen to the book deal. That's all.
Yeah, it's like all I do is just the book deal. But I mean, I do love Secrets from the Green Room. Like that's, but it's more about just talking about like writers and craft. And I enjoy like the Australian Writers Centre and stuff. But in terms of like writing craft, it's not something, and plotting and planning and hitting marks, which is what you were saying, hitting marks. I've never thought about that. So when you were saying all these things, I was like, oh, I've never done that in my life. And that
it's a good check, and for people who are starting out, just to make sure that they if it's not working, if your story is not working for whatever reason and you can't fix it, that's when it comes in really handy. It's a nice little check off to be like, oh, cool, I've done that. I'm hitting all the marks. So my top tip is following on from that. If your story is not working, go and check out this podcast and website.
How do you know when a story is not working?
And look, I think I'm trying to think back. It was a while ago now when I came to looking into all of that, because I was the same. I was like, oh my God. And sometimes I would listen to some podcasts and I'd be like, what are they even talking about? Like, they're breaking it down. And to me, I was like, that feels really mechanical and really gross. Like just how are you getting to that? That's not a good way to write. It's probably not a good way to write, but it's a good way to
structure,
look at it after you've written it and you've got the work there in front of you. How do you know if it's not right? I think if your plot's just not working, you've got plot holes, or it feels like it runs out of steam. I think, that the saggy middle bit, saggy? Is it saggy or is it
soggy? Saggy,
middle?
yeah.
Is it saggy middle or soggy middle?
I don't know. Is there a term for it?
Yeah. The middle, because the first act is super fun, and the last act's super fun because it's all coming together.
Yeah.
In the middle, people tend to just go, oh, how do I get from one to the other?
But people actually there's a term that people use.
I think it's called
a saggy. Visually makes more sense than soggy, I think.
Either way,
I didn't know that people shared that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I think it's a common thing where people just don't, or they just hit a brick wall and they don't know whether to go any further. And there are ways of checking it off, and I think that's when it comes in incredibly helpful. So that's maybe one way of knowing. Yeah.
Do you know, I've never really thought of it in that way, where you feel like your story's stuck, but I feel it, like I don't look at something and go, oh, this is stuck from a plot perspective. I feel it in my gut. Do you know what I mean? It's like an intuition.
Yes, and that's and I mean that's the, I guess, the physical way of knowing, but then like the practical way is like, because it is stuck, so you're going, I know there's something wrong with it and I know it's just not working. And then if you like plotted it out or something, you could find what it is.
I tend to
Sometimes it
just
is just
delete
that.
all the words and then
I
just start
know.
again.
And that can, and you can do that too, because sometimes it probably just doesn't work, or
Maybe,
you
but
get to the end
maybe,
and you're like, something's not right.
but maybe instead of like, because it feels very drastic to just delete all the words, and that's what
Mm,
I've done twice now.
yeah,
Perhaps I should have just plotted it out and then found where it's getting stuck, and maybe
maybe.
that could have
Well,
solved it.
maybe. And it probably isn't like it probably sounds more work than it is. It's probably just like looking at it from a distance and going, well,
Mm,
these are the things that you've got to hit. Oh, okay, I just haven't put enough energy into this section here, and the middle, hasn't peaked for whatever reason. I
mm,
need to just push and push a little bit further to get to that middle. Maybe that's all
mm.
that it is. And I think also when you have deadlines and stuff, you don't necessarily have a luxury of just writing
No,
20,000 words and chucking them
no, that's
in
true.
there.
Deadlines add that additional pressure, whereas when you're emerging and you haven't got a deal behind you, you
Yeah.
can put that manuscript down for a few months,
Yeah.
come back to it. And I think having that ability to see it from above is really, really important. And when you're down in the weeds with the manuscript, you cannot see the issues when you're down there
No. And
picking it
sometimes you
up.
just fall out of love with it yourself and you don't want to write it. And
Isn't that
sometimes there's
sad?
nothing you can do about that. I haven't actually done that myself, but I can see how it can happen.
Yeah,
And
that
it
happened
depends
to
on who it's
me.
happened to. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to me, and I think I will fall back in love with that manuscript.
Mm,
But I think, like, I got halfway through and I fell out of love with it.
mm,
I think there were some issues with it, but I felt the passion just bleeding out of
yeah.
me.
Yeah, you
And
need to at least see the end of of that story and be excited to get there.
yeah, yeah,
It might take a little bit of practical thinking and work to get there, but if you're not even looking at that end bit and feeling excited for it, then yeah, it's
yeah, it's a
probably a
strange one. But
sign.
then I think also if you hear the other voices of other characters for other stories and they take over.
That's always. And it's when you get past the first exciting act, right? And
Yes.
then the next story starts trying to
Yeah.
pull you away. I know, it's hard. And that's when you dump all the ideas crazily, like a maniac.
No.
And then you go back to that one, unless you
I have
prefer
a
to do the other
story.
one.
I have a story idea for you, Tina.
Oh, okay. For
I
me to
reckon
write?
that, okay, so just imagine this.
Okay.
Magnetic Island,
Mm,
there's a murder, because all my stories always start with murder.
mm-hmm.
And then a
Islands are
group
a
of,
good place for murder.
yes, and then a
Mm.
group of writers are all suspect. They're on a writing retreat for a week and they have to try and solve the murder.
Locked room, forced proximity. I like
And
that.
one of them might be the murderer. Oh
Mm,
my
mm.
God.
Well, Madeline, we have completely gone over time and completely off script again, but it has been joyful. I will let you
I
get
know.
back to your friend.
I just love your optimism when you sent me the
Mm,
you're like, oh, what should we talk about today? And you sent me like the draft talking points. And we have discussed exactly zero of, oh no, one.
I said the
One out of six.
recommendation. Yeah.
One out of six.
Mhm.
So
That's good.
good on us.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh well.
Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed our, I won't say the S word, so we don't
Very
have to make this
insightful.
episode explicit, but our talking.
Oh,
And it's been fun. And we should do this every Saturday night, but next time you're not going to be in your pajamas and you'll have a
no.
glass of wine.
Let's do that.
Tina with a glass of wine, everybody. That'll be fun.
Yep. Yep. Hey, and you know what though? I think it should be a glass of bubbles for us because I'm pretty sure it's going to be like our one year of the book deal podcast.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And
because
we're
it's
up to
July.
episode 36. We've done 36 episodes, and I think we're doing well.
That's really exciting.
So
Okay.
thank you to everybody for continuing to listen in every week. We really appreciate it and your engagement. And it's been so great.
And leave us a review, please, if that's okay. Because it definitely does help get other people to find our podcast. And, they could find, these chats extremely helpful for their
Yes,
writing.
please do. And I mean, Tina and I and Natasha as well, we've, financially backed this podcast the last year ourselves. We do it because we love it. We have learnt so much along the way as well. And, it's really helpful. And I think the best part is when we see those reviews coming through. because we know all that time and investment and money that we're putting into it is worthwhile when we know that people are enjoying this.
That's true. Good one. Thanks. Great way to wrap it up, Madeleine. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It was good to chat.
Enjoy your wait, what were you up to again?
My cross stitch. I'm going to post a photo so everyone can see my progress.
Cross stitch. Enjoy your colouring by paint by numbers and cross stitch and TV. Yep.
Thank you for listening to the Book Deal podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the pod so you can receive updates as soon as our new eps drop. And to keep up to date with what the pod is doing, you can also find us on Instagram.